At a public lecture in Phnom Penh yesterday, Russian diplomats presented their stance on the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, defending Russia's military actions while attributing responsibility to the Ukrainian government for failed peace efforts. The event, titled The Origins of the Crisis in Ukraine and the Current Situation, featured a presentation by Rodion Miroshnik, Ambassador-at-Large of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation. The lecture at the Raffles Hotel Le Royal was attended by representatives from government agencies, academia, students, and media. Anatoly Borovic, head of the Russian diplomatic mission in Cambodia, opened the event, setting the tone for a lecture that delved into Russia's perspective on the causes and developments of the Ukraine conflict. The lecture also included a documentary titled Maidan: Road to War, filmed between 2014 and 2022, depicting the daily shelling of Donbass by Ukrainian forces. The documentary explores the situation in Ukraine beginning in 2014, reconstructing the sequence of events that led to the ongoing conflict. Ambassador Miroshnik traced the roots of the crisis to what he referred to as the coup d'etat in Kyiv in 2014. Marking the 10th anniversary of that event, he argued that it set the stage for instability in Ukraine, which, he claimed, Moscow has since sought to mitigate. He noted that Russia began a special military operation in February 2022 to save the residents of Donbass. Ambassador Miroshnik countered claims that Russia seeks to prolong the war or refuses peace talks, calling them outright lies. He emphasized that Russia was directly involved in at least 6 peace negotiation platforms to resolve the conflict in Donbass and Ukraine, listing the negotiation formats and outlining Russia's efforts towards a peaceful resolution since 2014. He accused Ukrainian leaders with Western support of thwarting Russia's attempts at fostering peace and countering what he described as lawlessness in the region. Ambassador Miroshnik presented evidence that, according to Russian sources, Ukrainian military forces had launched attacks on Russia's border regions using armed groups with neo-Nazi affiliations. He detailed actions taken by the Russian armed forces to repel these assaults, asserting that the measures were aimed at defending Russian territory from what he termed terrorists. A focal point of the lecture was Ukraine's alleged use of anti-personnel mines, APMs, banned under the Ottawa Convention. Ambassador Miroshnik emphasized that this was especially relevant in light of the upcoming 5th Review Conference, 5RC, of the Convention on the Prohibition of the Use, Stockpiling, Production, and Transfer of Anti-Personnel Mines, set to be held in Siem Reap, Cambodia, in November. He cited evidence, including reports from the United Nations Institute for Disarmament Research, UNIDR, and Human Rights Watch, alleging that Ukrainian forces deployed these munitions, violating international agreements. Ambassador Miroshnik claimed that despite pledging to destroy its APM stockpiles by 2009, Ukraine had continued to use them in regions such as Donbass and Kursk, and he cited reports of their deployment against civilians in Izium, Kharkiv, in 2022. These allegations are documented in the Landmine Monitor 2023, a UNIDR report submitted to the United Nations earlier this year, which accuses Ukraine of violating the Ottawa Convention by deploying APMs in civilian areas.